What's up, WPC? This is DSG Pipe Smoker with another pipe smoking video. I've got my no-name Meerscaum loaded with some Captain Black Royal, and I'm drinking some Pure Leaf green tea. Now, a couple of things before we move on. First of all, yes, this is a weekend pipe chat, and yeah, I'm smoking in my cabin. I don't generally like to do that because I've done it before and I don't like how smoky it can get in here sometimes, but I am smoking in here because, well, basically it's in the negatives, single digit negatives. I think it's like -2 or 3 or something like that. Which is fine. I can be in that kind of weather if I'm dressed appropriately, but the camera can't handle it. And I kind of wanted to smoke my Meerscaum anyways, so. But yeah, the reason I'm bundled up though is because the heater in my cabin, although adequate enough to keep the cabin warmed enough to not freeze the pipes and cause them to burst, is not adequate enough to keep somebody comfortably warm, unfortunately. All this talking is keeping my pipe from staying lit. But with that out of the way, first of all, I'd like to thank everybody for the advice that you've been giving me on the Meerscaum video, and another video, I believe it was a weekend pipe chat, where basically I was asking you guys advice on where to get leather dye. And as far as that's concerned, where'd I put it? Here it is. So this is the Trident that I'm working on. I got the original stain removed, obviously. And so from there, I'm going to from there, I'm obviously going to stain it. I'm probably just going to go with the powdered stain that you can add your own alcohol to. And I think I'm going to stain it red, but that's the update on that. As far as the Meerscaums go, I really appreciate the comments from that video, and I appreciate people sharing Bremen Piper's Meerscaum video. It was very helpful, and I learned a lot. Another video that I found was from Metalhead Cigar Guy. He mostly focused on where to get Meerscaums, but that's still some helpful information. So I'll link his video down below. As well as Bremen's video, for those who want to watch it. Also, there was a lot of conflicting advice on how to clean a meerschaum. Some people said it's okay to use alcohol. Some people said that alcohol was bad for it. Some people said to try to avoid using water to clean it because the water will absorb into the meerschaum itself and basically cause it to crack. I don't remember exactly what the mechanism was for that, and the alcohol would dry it out too much. I'll put this down and grab another product that I got. So I went to the local brick and mortar here in Anchorage, GP Fine Tobaccos, and he recommended this. It is the Blitz Clean System solution. Apparently it's made specifically for cleaning pipes. He also said it was a sweetener, but he recommended this for meerschaum because you're not going to get the same issues yet you would have with a alcohol-based cleaning solution or cleaning solvent. At least when it comes to, cleaning meerschaums. So that's what I got to restore this meerschaum pipe enough to smoke it. But I also got something else while I was there. I believe you guys are well aware of this blend. There's a lot of tobacco reviews on it. And it's pretty damned popular, given that, you go on any of the major retailers' websites and they're usually either back ordered or out of stock in this. But I got the last tin $17.92 flake from Samuel Gawith. And to give you an idea of how expensive tobacco is up here, that's how much I paid for it. If it doesn't show up in the video, it's $25 for that tin. I was very reluctant to go ahead and get it because of the cost, but at the same time I was like, it's the last tin on the shelf, and you know what? I have a really hard time finding it in stock on either pipesandcigars.com or smokingpipes.com. So I went ahead, I bit the bullet, and just bought a tin. So with that being said, set my pipe down. Let's go ahead and open this. Sorry about that, I was clearing my nose so I can smell it. So I've never had 1792 flake, but it's something I've always wanted to get. So this one came with what looks like a pamphlet. Oh wow. So that tobacco has obviously been sitting on the shelf for a while, which is a good thing. And wow. Bradley from Stuff and Things was right. This is pretty wet. But for those of you who haven't seen 1792 flake, this is what it looks like. I'm not getting much for a smell out of it. It smells very damp and like a wet earth. Very, very faint though. So Bradley from Stuff and Things advised that with the Samuel Gawith blends that you should probably leave it in the tin, because the tin, once it's been cracked, doesn't have the same seal that it does originally when it comes from the factory. So by leaving it in the tin, it will dry out at an appropriate rate. So I'll probably leave that in the tin for about a month. We'll see where it's at from there. So let's move on from there. As far as reviewing this is concerned, I think that's going to be several months down the road. Well, maybe not several months. A couple at the very least. But I can't wait to try it. So, Arctic Piper wanted to know what our favorite and least favorite shapes were. I don't really have a favorite or a least favorite, because I use different shape dimensions and different pipes to smoke different blends, because I'm a big believer in finding the right combination for chamber dimensions. That being said, one of my favorite shapes has always been a bulldog shape, even though I only have one. But it's always been, you know, either a bulldog shape, a devil lance, or like a simple billiard. And I like the billiard because it's simple enough that you can have whatever kind of chamber dimensions you want. You know, it can come at any kind of bend angle that you want it to. Usually with pokers, while they are much simpler than billiards, they're usually pretty straight. I haven't seen a lot of bent pokers, and usually when they're bent, like the stem will be bent kind of like this, but the shank will obviously not be bent. I don't know. That's just my thoughts on it. As far as my least favorite shapes, probably a freehand that is so large and, you know, gaudy that you can't smoke it, you know. Yeah, I mean, there's Oompals have their issues. Zulus, I would imagine, would be hard to hold on to just because of the weird shape. But if it's not smokable, I don't see a point in owning it. In fact, I've seen some Meerscaum pipes that were more art pieces than they were pipes. Yeah, they had a chamber and an airway, a shank, but that was like 10% of the pipe, and then the other 90% was just this big, elaborate sculpture or mini sculptures kind of carved in it. Obviously wasn't made primarily for smoking. I'm sorry about all the relights. I didn't let this tobacco dry out enough. And this particular batch of the Captain Black Royal that I got was a little bit more moist, had a little bit more moisture to it than usual. Oh. But anyway, lastly, I'm going to do a VR to Pottsville Piper. He wanted us to do a video on pipe smoking basics, particularly tongue bite, and I made a comment to his video that I did a video on tongue bite. And the reason I didn't post a link is because I didn't know if he would receive it or not, and I didn't know if it would just go directly to his spam folder in his comment sections. Because I don't know about the rest of you guys who make videos, but lately I've been noticing that, like, say there's 4 or 5 comments, well, I might only see 2 or 3 of them. And I've had a few people, especially when I was doing my contest, who were posting links in their comments, but then it would immediately get sent to the spam folder. So, Pottsville Piper, if you're watching this, I will link my 10 tips for tongue bite in the description box, so you can watch that. But that was what I was alluding to when I said I made a video on the subject. I don't claim to be an expert, but I have struggled with tongue bite, and as somebody who struggled with tongue bite, I've tried a lot of things, so even if you're not Pottsville Piper, you should check it out. I would definitely be interested in any additional tips you might have. I know, who was it? Heisenberg, I think it was? Yeah, Heisenberg recommended orange juice to prevent tongue bite, and I tried it. It actually does work. So, again, if you guys have any suggestions, I'm all ears. And with that, don't think I have anything else to talk about. Yeah, that should do it, guys. So, hope you guys enjoyed the weekend. I'm recording this basically the eve of Monday morning, so, 11-ish, something like that. So, this will post on Monday. But with that being said, this has been DSG Pipe Smoker with another pipe smoking video. You guys have a good day.